So I guess I should talk first because I'm the martial artist in the group. Yeah. Is that? So first of all, just the general point. I forget who the person I was talking to, so please forgive me. I do think, and Rafe Kelly and I have done work around this, and some of you may have seen those videos. And Rafe is an astonishing human being. But we need to recover, maybe reinventio, a deeper discussion between the martial arts and philosophy, properly understood as the cultivation of wisdom, not the academic enterprise of meta-critique and meta-reflection, which is in its own right a good thing to do. Yes, so I think that's really important. And Plato was a wrestler, and Socrates was literally a warrior. And to forget that, and that's his Rafe's point, is to miscontextualize them. And we tend to, we do this wrong thing. We contextualize them within academia. And, right, the academy is next to the gymnasium, and the gymnasium is near the sacred shrine. That's the context that they should be put in order to properly understand them. And I think a deeper discussion about between philosophy and martial arts, I think, would be extremely valuable, especially if you find some of the points that myself and all the 4 ECOG people are making about the importance of embodiment, embeddedness, in action. So just that, I think, is important. I do think that doing these practices made available to me certain ways of taking a stance, of oriented my comportment, that enabled me to get to where I am. I related it before, and I use it as one of my primary example of a practice. I'm trying to make a distinction that, keep to a distinction that, I've lost his name right now. It'll come to me. He makes a distinction between a practice which you do on your own and a ritual is something you do with other people. And I think that's right. What the interesting thing about Tai Chi is it's both, because you practice it on your own, but you will also do it with other people, especially when you're going through the long period of the education. And I do remember the way, when I was in grad school, I'd been doing Tai Chi like religiously for about 3 or 4 years, and people were coming to me and saying, "What's happened? You're different." And it's like, "What do you mean I'm different?" And it's like, "Well, you're much more balanced, you're much more flexible, you're more into the give and take." And I of course was like everybody else who's first learning, you get all caught up in all the weird and wonderful phenomenology. Like there's times when you're as hot as fire and as cold as ice and all this stuff. "Oh, I'm gonna be a Buddhist," and all that crap. And that all dies away. And then I got that. And then I got the realization, this is different than other things in that and other people are sensing it before I do. It's percolating into my psyche. It's doing the vertical. And it's also transferring broadly and deeply in my life. And that's where I first got the idea of that's how we should evaluate. And then I saw Jennings making very convergent arguments. That's the rationale, that's the normative standard by which we judge how good a ritual is, right? And so I think the martial arts, the problem with the martial arts is they're in a chaotic place right now. So we had the martial arts way over here, and there was a lot, it got really bad, it got really corrupted, and that's the right word, with woo, with a lot of woo stuff. And then there was the MMA reaction, which is cut away all that woo and make me really good at killing people in a fight. And there was a disciplining that came in. The problem, and I've talked with Rodney King about this, like he's also a martial artist, is we've lost how the martial art, if the only reason I was doing a martial art is so I'm in a situation where I have to defend myself, it is a waste of time because I've had to do it like once in my life. And even when you win, you lose. It takes away a piece of your soul. That's not the primary reason right? The primary reason to do it is the cultivation of wisdom. So we need to bring the pendulum back here. Yes, the woo was bad, and it got really bad, and it was charlatans and exploitative, and it was corrupt. This has been a good corrective, but now it's overcorrected. We need to bring it back, and then if it gets back there, then the relationship between martial arts and philosophy, I think, would be an extremely valuable thing to recommend to people in general.